Hi there. In this video, I'm going to talk about select by location. Um, Select by location is different with select by attribute because in select by attribute, you only work with one layer. In select by location, we are working with two layers. For example, I'm going to select some of these block groups that they are parks. I have another layer that tells me where the parks are, and I can say identify those block groups or those features in my block groups that are parks. So for this, we are working with two layers. Um, One is parks and one is block groups. I'm going to select by location. Select by location, it starts with input features. Input feature for us here is the block group. So we are going to select block groups. Then we want to identify a relationship. Let me select selecting features. So selecting features in this case is going to be parks. We are selecting block groups based on parks. But what type of relationship? Based on what relationship? Only if they intersect. And intersect is crossing the lines, is even sharing a border would be intersect. So if I select that, then let's see what's happening here. For example, that this block group um, is selected because a part of that is in a park, um, or this block group is selected because these parks are inside that. If the border is like this one, slightly they are sharing the border, even just on the line, that will be selected based on intersect. So that might not be the best idea or the best tool for that. How can we control that? You can go and say, I want uh, select all those block groups that the parks are um, completely contains the park. So in this case, if only part of a block group is in the block group, only sorry, if only part of the park is in the block group, that block group won't be selected. It should be entirely inside. Um, or there are other variables, other relationships, such as I have to select this one again, um, have their centers in. The center, um, that would be interesting because if the majority of the park is inside, if the majority of block group is inside the park, then that would be selected, like this one. Um, but those ones that are just partially inside, they won't be selected. So you can define the relationships with those, um, define different types of relationships. Um, Here I'm going to select another thing, another variable such as um, another layer such as community districts, and let's just change that to some okay, here it is, and I'm going to say the same thing. Select those block groups that are intersecting with or community districts. Most of our block groups are selected because they are intersecting with the community districts. They share line or some of them are completely inside. So that might not be the best for us. I'm going to show you something else. If you select this one, this community district, and now I run this again, only those block groups that are intersecting with this community district are selected. But also you can see that this one is this block group, which is outside of that community district, is selected. Um, that one, that block group was totally outside of our community district, so that is selected because they share a line here. How can control that and say only those ones that are inside? I don't want select this block group because it is sharing a line border with this one. So for that, I'm going to say here, choose have their center in. So if the center of a block group is inside the community district, that block group will be selected. If the center is not inside, for example, a corner of that is outside, still is fine. But if the majority of that block group is outside, it won't be selected. Let's see now. Oops, because I didn't have a selection. Let's select this one and run that again. In this case, you can see that these are not selected anymore because their centers are not inside this community district. Here we learned that the selection applies on select by location. For example, if I select this community district and run this tool, only this will be used for select by location. We also learned that there are different relationships between the two layers. You can use intersect, contains, you can use completely contains, um, within, and their center in or their center in. These are very helpful ones. Um, again, this is very helpful if you want to select some features based on one layer.